We are greenlit. Another exciting edition of the Nerd Cyph being brought to you by False Finish Productions.
I know, I'm like looking at all the
Nerd
cameras.
Cyph TV, Nerd Cyph Podcast.
Yeah.
Double whammy. I've always wanted to say simulcast. Can I say that now?
It's audio and visual synergy.
The way it was meant to be.
Synergy. It's audio. This is the audio. This is the video.
Yeah. Well, happy Thanksgiving, buddy.
Thank you.
We are coming off the cusp.
It's over with. I'm done. I'm done with Thanksgiving. Let's move on.
I know.
I just want this fucking holiday period.
Do you know I'm a little disappointed in my Thanksgiving. Usually get leftovers. Had none this year.
Well, you have like the 3rd Armored Division living in your house.
I don't, animals live in my house.
So many people living here.
But whatever.
My Thanksgiving was good because you know why? I did absolutely nothing. Nothing.
Well,
Slept.
as you said, Thanksgiving has come and gone.
Yes.
And now we're gearing up for Christmas.
Yes.
And if you listen to one of our archive episodes, you'll know that we talked about a few holiday games that were going to come out.
Yes, the big 3.
Yeah, and guess what?
What's up?
We're going to review those games.
Oh, shit.
Today.
Oh, man.
Whew. That's how it's going to work on the nerd side, my man.
That's how we do.
We got to play all 3 of those games, and the games I'm referring to, obviously, Assassin's Creed,
Boing.
Star Wars Battlefront 2,
Boing, boing.
and Call of Duty,
Boing, boing, boing.
WW2. I have to say it like that because when you say WW2, you have to talk like grizzled veteran.
World War II. The Great War.
Yes, they used to call it the Great War.
The war to end all wars.
That's right. Everybody was at each other's throats, and there were lions and tigers and bears and I don't know. Anyway,
I got off track real quick.
I like to sidetrack us sometimes because just to see how we get back on track.
Real quick,
right? But I had some fun.
I did, at least.
Any current events going on? We're coming off the cusp of Justice League. Catch our Justice League episode, which is
3 weeks out from Star Wars. That's all.
3 weeks out from Star Wars, which is a great time to review Battlefront 2 today.
My life is all about that right now.
That's it. That's all you're worried about right now.
The light at the end of the tunnel.
The countdown clock.
The only
begins.
thing that's stopping me from hanging myself.
Well, get ready, man.
Dark.
It's coming.
Dark place.
That being said, let's take you to an even darker place.
Yes.
And take you to the beaches of Normandy.
Oh, man.
On D-Day.
Yeah.
In Call of Duty WW2.
This was
I couldn't play this game. I tried 2 minutes, and I literally could not storm. I felt like I was in the opening scene of Saving Private Ryan.
It was on rookie difficulty. Like,
it was on
recruit.
I'm very bad at first person shooters, as you saw.
Yes.
As you're seeing right now.
Yeah.
But this is actual game footage of us, by the way.
Yeah.
And we were just
right there. I think right here.
I'm not.
Or is there really
I think it's above us. Yeah, it's above us, guy.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah.
And now I'm giving you stuff too because I would have looked up. And now you have to time that up.
That's all right, dude. Trust me, it's not that hard.
Yeah, okay.
I think it was an okay game. I mean, to me, it's just Call of Duty. Like they all seem to be exactly the same.
Well, what I liked about it is it's them going back to their roots, but with the technology that they have to tell the stories that they have been telling over the last couple of games. Full disclosure, I probably haven't played a Call of Duty game since Advanced Warfare.
That's the last one I played.
Yeah,
I played that on PC though, and I'm that's my thing. And I'll always say when we talk first-person shooter games on this show, I'm very good on it with a mouse and keyboard. I am just dog shit with a remote.
I mean, that's how I started playing first-person shooters. Yeah, but I've learned to adapt.
I mean, I've gotten better over the years.
Yeah, I think that's what you do.
I'm not awful, but you know what my problem is?
Dog shit at GoldenEye, dude.
Yeah, you know what my problem is when you start to hear the bullets and the explosions.
Yeah.
I don't know where to look. So I a lot of times I'm too busy spinning around like a dog chasing its tail.
Oh my god!
And by that time you've already been plugged 2 or 3 times and you're dead. So that's my issue. It's just like awareness, I guess, is the best way I can describe it for me. But on a mouse and keyboard, it seems much more like
you could adjust
the reaction time. Seems much more
that sensitivity and stuff like that. I think that's also probably why you probably are. You gotta adjust with settings that work.
I gotta work it like a. I gotta ease in. I can't just
jam
it home.
You always gotta use lubrication.
Yeah,
always use lubrication.
Ease it in there like a gentleman. Unless they want to get jammed up. You want to get jammed up?
You want to get jammed up, but good.
Well, jam until there's nothing left to jam.
Man. But I think this game is a welcome.
Weren't the original Call of Duty games like this?
They were.
They were set
in World War II. That's where it got started. I think this is a welcome homecoming, I guess you could say.
Okay.
To the one of the most depressing times in world history.
The Great War.
Because I think I just got tired of the whole future fighter thing.
I liked Advanced Warfare.
I liked it. I liked.
But I think they were kind of trying to hang with Destiny, and
they were exploring that whole future.
And wasn't there
tech.
another futuristic type
it was Advanced Warfighter, and then Infinite Warfighter was like the one like that was actually in space.
No, I didn't. Advanced Warfare is the one I played.
Yeah,
actually, I think I played both of those games.
I didn't play.
They were both pretty cool.
I didn't play Infinite Warfighter.
They were pretty cool. I liked them. And I Call of Duty
Infinite
Ghosts
Warfighter
was a pretty good.
Ghosts, and I think there was Ghosts too, right?
I'm not sure. I played Ghosts.
I played Ghosts.
Brandon Routh.
Yeah.
He was the star in that one.
Yeah, I mean, this is one thing that Call of Duty has always done well is they've always been able to tell cinematic stories.
Great cinematic stories, I will say.
Yeah,
because those stories were really good.
Every story that they've told, I think, has had like moments where you're like, "Oh shit, hang
wow,
on."
What the hell?" Yeah, no, I was very impressed with that.
And this game is nothing like it too. What I like about it, it has moments in it where like called heroic moments. As like you're going through, like we're storming through one of the bunkers, and there was like an American fighter fighting with a German, and you get that split second to react and take out before your friendly fighter gets taken out. I
also liked that they added a little bit more realism to it now, where you need med packs.
Yes, that was going right back to the old school Call of Duty.
Yeah, and I also like that the guy throws it to you, so like he's a healer.
You have you have squad abilities, and each member of your squad has a different thing. Like one guy will refresh your med pack, one guy will refresh your ammo, one guy will call out targets for you.
The one thing I say, like they try to make it very, very militant. They try to make people work together. When you're playing PvP, I'm assuming you're on a team against another team.
Yeah,
and that's what it helps you kind of build team. There's a good team building.
I mean, you definitely have to work together with your squad mates to get through. Like,
I mean, what's blowing my mind is this game, along with Counter-Strike, they've become competitive to the point where people make money. Playing these games.
It's a major esport.
Yeah, so it's not like.
I don't know if World War II exactly will become an esport, but definitely Counter-Strike is the number one.
Counter-Strike, yeah.
On the esports.
It's just amazing.
Dude,
when I was a kid, it was considered wasting time.
If I knew 16 years ago that devoting all my time to Counter-Strike would potentially
could essentially lead to a job, I would have never stopped playing. I would have got really heavy in the video games. When I was a kid, I was told it's a waste of time.
I never had the machinery. Like I was running Counter-Strike on like a gateway.
I'm the same way. I had outdated computers,
or just not outdated computers because it was brand new, just not
powerful
built
enough
for the game.
They were more for browsing.
Yeah,
the ones you buy at the store, not the ones you have built.
And term papers.
Yeah.
That's what
this was for schoolwork only. We didn't buy for video games, guy.
Right. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
2 weeks later, when I have Half-Life and everything else.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mom.
So what would you give? How many blunts?
I would give it a solid 3.5, maybe.
3.5?
Yeah,
I'd give it about
that. It was good because I didn't really dabble that much in the multiplayer at all, really.
Yeah.
And I only really played campaign, and when I was playing the campaign, it felt exactly like all the things that I liked about the Call of Duty games. Cinematic experiences, great motion capture acting by Josh Duhamel, and I'm sure there's probably
graphically these games have just come so far.
It's silly, really, and especially if you're playing on an X or a Pro. On a 4K TV, it
looks just like a movie.
Ridiculous.
Yeah,
that's next level shit.
I mean, if you're a Call of Duty fan, you already probably have the game.
Yeah,
and if you're looking to buy it, I'd recommend it.
Yeah, I mean,
I'd give it, like I said, I'd give it 3.5.
I mean, I'm not even going to bother really getting into. I might play a little bit because I've pretty much already bought the game.
Yeah.
I'm a red box gamer who forgets to take them back, and then 2 weeks later
winds up keeping them.
Charges.
I have no choice.
Phone. Yeah. There you go. Well, there's $70 gone.
Well, I guess I own this game now.
I own this game now, and then I take it back and try and make some of that money back.
Yeah. I'm a huge GameFly guy.
Yeah,
and I think
me too.
Just a GameFly. If you're listening, please,
hey, shout out
sponsors.
I mean, I want to see if I could use because I think they have, because I'm a member, I could there's
incentives or whatever.
Referral programs.
Yeah.
I don't know if that works if I just tag anything on it or people. Hey, if you want a GameFly membership, hit me up. Basically,
yeah.
I got you. Got you a free
Look
month
at you.
On me.
Nice guy.
I know.
Get GameFly, and then you can get Call of Duty.
Exactly. Maybe. No guarantees with that.
But we're going to take a break right now.
Yes.
And when we come back, we're going to break down Assassin's Creed Origins.
Break it down.
Which is, how many games is this now from Assassin's Creed?
I mean, we're one a year for the last decade, except for last year. So probably 9.
Nine
If you want,
and 10.
if you want to count console,
Like different consoles because they came out like PS Vita and shit.
yeah, and then there's even been ones like that came out for the PlayStation 3 when the ones on the previous Gen 8 consoles were out. So so it's probably like 12. Probably.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
When we get back, we'll break down the 12th or 13th edition of
whatever
Assassin's Creed.
This is John Harder wanting you to check out the Hardway Podcast, the flagship show of Hardway HQ, exclusively on thejohnharder.com. Comedy segments, guests, even a Stu Hart appearance or two, like his show does. Check out thejohnharder.com to listen to the Hardway Podcast.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Todd Smith here from the No Gimmicks Podcast. Tune in weekly as my tag team partner Dale Clifford and I provide you with recaps, predictions, unboxings, and interviews with some of the hottest names in professional wrestling today. Please subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Twitter at the No Gimmicks PC, and like our Facebook page. You can visit us at www.youtube.com/the No Gimmicks Podcast. And remember, we are no gimmicks, no image, all wrestling, all the time.
And we're back
Pow.
on the Nerd Cyph and Nerd Cyph TV.
Yeah, with cameras and lights.
We're in a studio, Brandon. How nice is this?
I know.
Right, Ninja Turtle behind you. Or is it the Witch King? Or is it Thor? We don't know.
So much stuff.
Wanted to
So much knickknacks.
wanted
and
to throw
tchotchkes.
things at you, yeah. On the next edition of the Nerd Cyph.
Perhaps this could be the future home of my pop collection.
Ooh.
Oh.
On the next edition of the Nerd Cyph,
We'll see.
Dumbbell Gennady will be joining us again.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we'll be 3 again.
Oh, we'll be whole.
Yeah, we'll talk all things Goku on that episode. But for right now,
Maybe just Dragon Ball Central. Like,
Yeah.
just a little bit. Just
I mean,
talking about
yeah.
one character on the show.
that's for real. That's all it's about anyway. So
Yeah, I guess.
we'll talk about that in the next episode. But for right now, we're breaking down video games and the holiday season and all the popular ones that have come out.
Yerp.
And which brings us to our next one, and everyone's a favorite creed, the Assassin's Creed.
I mean, some people like the Apollo Creed.
Ooh, I like what you did there. But we're not breaking down Rocky Balboa.
Or the Austin Creed.
Really? Jesus, don't do that. That's a Spot Monkey Slamcast thing.
Sorry.
We're breaking down Assassin's Creed. You played it more than I did. I played it a little bit.
Barely even scratched the surface of this game, though.
The last Assassin's Creed I played like fully was Black Flag, the pirate one.
Yar.
I did play the third one briefly, which was the revolutionary one, where you're the Indian, right?
Yes.
And of course the second and the third one. I didn't play like the side ones, like Brotherhood and Syndicate.
Technically, Brotherhood was all like, it goes to Brotherhood Revelations. That's all like one chapter. Then 3, and then everything else from 3 got its own subtitle. Like they stopped making numeraled games. Well, no, I think 4 was Black Flag.
Yeah, because it was Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag. Yeah.
Yeah. I played pretty much every single one of them. Black Flag and Revelations were the 2 that I've played the least. Like I
like Black Flag.
I liked a lot of parts of Black Flag.
Yeah, I like the pirate.
I like that. I just didn't like the fact that I got, as soon as I set sail one time, I get like besieged by 2 ships.
And you get shot up.
Yeah.
And
I don't know.
I mean, that was the hardest part for me in those games, like kind of figuring out the ocean and the cannon.
Combat.
Yeah.
But what they did with this game, they stripped every like,
that's what I could tell as soon as from
every like side game, like I think it was Brotherhood or one of the I think it was Brotherhood. And Brotherhood had like a tower defense mini game aspect to it. When those games were kind of popular, those kind of stuff were gone. This game is really in a lot of ways like an RPG.
Yeah, you know what it reminded me of? It kind of reminded me of Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I understand same kind of mechanics and everything like that.
That game spawned those.
I know that was like the precursor. That was like the
you can get. That's the proof that people would play an open world game where you don't have guns and cars.
We have swords and horses and stuff. Yeah, because I love Shadow War and Shadow Mordor.
I mean, those are so. I like working my way through it.
Which, by the way, Shadow Mordor is on Amazon right now, Cyber Monday for $25.
$25, get it
So
now.
if you're a fan, which I'm probably going to buy today, get Shadow of Mordor. Or Shadow of War. I'm sorry.
It's a pretty good purchase, man.
Yeah, but we're breaking down Assassin's Creed.
Yes. So I think
and,
they needed to do this. Like this is once the series had kind of just it kept become stale, and I really liked like the concept of Syndicate.
Yeah.
Like, I liked rolling through Victorian London, but it just didn't feel like anything new. Like it's
not in Egypt.
Yeah. Well, I think the setting, because these are those one things that those games have always done. They've always done exploration and murder.
Mm-hmm.
Like those were always two of the most satisfying things.
Did it remind you of? Because it reminded me of Hitman. Remember Hitman?
The original Hitman.
47, Age of 47. It reminded me of that, like where it was kind of like that.
Well, no, because I said that because like the last Hitman game that came out was literally just like standalone levels that didn't have a story.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the last Hitman that came out, our good friend played a lot of it. Like, our good friend is probably one of the best ranked one of the best Hitman players in the world.
Okay.
It was just it was like a half a game, and then it had downloadable levels that just came out like seasonal content. Like, okay, here's this next set.
This is
levels.
more like kind of like GTA, but when you're assassin essentially.
Is full open world.
Yeah.
It reminds me in a lot of ways of Ghost Recon Wildlands, because all the Ubisoft games have kind of the open world games have kind of been built the same off the same tech.
Mm-hmm.
This literally feels like that, just more RPG than shootery.
Yeah,
like your gear has a level, your gear has a rarity, and all that kind of stuff.
Which I notice all games are kind of going to that kind of method.
There's going to be there's a hybridization of gaming. Like there's going to be nothing that's just purely.
A lot of gamers like to build a character. They like to kind of get the best gear and the best equipment and stuff like that. So I notice even shooters and stuff.
Exactly,
are all
you're seeing
going to
action RPGs.
Yeah,
and then online role-playing shooters, stuff like Destiny, which is literally just like an amalgam of every game.
I mean, from the graphics of this game, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah,
graphically looks good.
Everything nowadays looks fucking fantastic.
They're looking more and more cinematic, more and more like actual movies.
Yeah,
it's pretty amazing.
And you can move the camera around. And shoot it.
I noticed they took Eagle Vision away. You can only just go to a tower now, and
they strip all the bells and whistles of the game out. I was expecting to be able to use the combat system. Combat system's completely different.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just stand there and wait for your opponent to strike, parry, chain a kill, chain together, and rinse, repeat.
Yeah, well, you could kind of chain together like 20 strikes in one shot.
I was the fucking man at that shit.
Yeah,
because you could just other than
it's a timing thing. Like once you get the timing down, it's exactly. You don't stop. You can do 30 to 40 hit combos.
Yeah, exactly. As soon as anytime I saw a group of 5 or 6 or more, and there were no heavies or special kind of enemies, like people that shoot you or anything else like that, especially in the later Assassin's Creed once they started bringing guns into it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, no problem, because I would walk up to one guy, take one guy out, stealthy, then wait for the other guys to attack me, and then just chain.
Well, I never ever relied on stealth in those games. I would just attack everybody.
I used it to get out of situations, and see, that's the thing is we've played this game is with Origins, we haven't even scratched the surface of it.
Stuff. Yeah.
So I'm just expecting all that. But when I got back into playing it, it felt like the Assassin's Creed is, at its core, what it started out as is a historical simulator / or historical exploration / murder simulator.
Yeah. It's a good game.
I fully recommend it. I have to give it a kind of incomplete because I don't know where the story is going. But I mean, at its core, is a great game. And it's so far
from what we've played,
a 4,
which is what you're seeing right now. Yeah. The footage of us playing, it was pretty good.
What I've played so far is probably a 4 because controls, it takes a little while to get used to.
All Assassin's Creed games are like that because you can do so much.
Well, no. Once you got the base of the controls, you can figure out everything. But the fact that it's stuff is mapped to new buttons, and different, you could switch between weapons now. Before you have the one weapon.
Yeah,
so
it's a bunch of stuff, and you can craft armor,
gear,
you can craft gear and stuff like that. So it's a game that you could literally lose hours.
Yeah, I've bought it already.
Yeah, get baked.
Yeah,
and because that's how I play Black Flag. I just get baked. And
I've played almost all the Assassin's Creed games except for pretty much 2. I've only completed 1 to the finish. That was Unity.
Okay. The only one I've done is Assassin's Creed 1. That's the only one I've completed.
I see. I only got like 75% of that.
I finished it. Then I take that back. I finished Assassin's Creed 2. I finished the first 2, and then after that, I don't finish the other ones. I gameflied Assassin's Creed Black Flag, so I didn't really finish. I sent it back.
I think I sent it back too.
Yeah, and Assassin's Creed 3 was the same deal. I
got up to Yorktown in that because that was the first time they introduced the naval combat stuff, and I could kind of figure it out, but then it gets to the point where I'm fighting 2 ships at once, and I can't.
I liked those stories. I liked the Indian guy the best.
I
liked his gear. I don't know. I liked the way they always look different. I mean, obviously they follow with the times.
Yeah.
But I always liked that they always have the hood.
And he
had the tomahawk and shit. It was pretty.
He was the most maligned main character of all of them. Like people thought he was just the worst as far as like motivations and like acting and all of those.
Yeah.
It was just bad. Like,
the best one I think was the pirate.
Yeah, Kenway. Hatham Kenway is the best.
Yeah, he was awesome.
He was the best character.
I definitely get.
I'm a big Arno guy, I guess, because that was the one that I played to the end.
Yeah, I would personally give it 4. Like you said.
I gotta give it incomplete, but
for me personally playing it, I felt like I love these games. I play Batman Arkham Knight. I play Shadow of War.
Yeah, I love a good.
So I love these games. I can't wait until the new God of War game comes out. I can't wait for Spider-Man.
I think that actually might. Oh, Spider-Man is definitely going to be an open world.
Yeah,
game
I can't wait till that game comes out.
I would be pretty hype if God of War was.
I think it's supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be kind of like what we played in Assassin's Creed. Now, it just takes a little getting used to. Once you get used to the controls, the game is probably awesome, and you'll be like, "Oh, I'm so happy I bought this."
Yeah, once I unlock everything and get like the full hang of it, I should like it. I'm not taking it back to GameFly anytime soon.
Yeah, so there you go. There you have it, GameFly.
Bam.
You hear here first.
Ringing endorsement.
Brandon is definitely keeping that game.
Definitely, or at least until I could buy it.
Yeah. Did you see the movie?
I did.
What did you?
I mean,
I never saw the movie.
Objectionable opinion for me with a movie with Michael Fassbender. You're not going to get. I liked it. I had some problems with it. He was great.
Does he play anybody from the game?
No, because
they kind of just
character. They paraphrase the game, like the story from the game. Like there's the Templar Order, and they're kind of like the group that's controlling, manipulating world events, and they're essentially gathering all the assassins in one place, or people that could be assassins in one place, to like kind of like corral them. And then Michael Fassbender learns that he has this secret assassin heritage, and then kind of just taps into it and breaks out. Spoilers.
I want to see it. I think I'm going to give it a shot.
I mean,
I'm sure it's not going to win awards. It's not something like...
It's not dog shit, but it's also not like high class cinema. There's some cool moments in it, like the action and stuff like that. They nailed.
Okay.
Like the fight sequence.
That's pretty much what I'm looking at.
Yeah, it's weird. Like not seeing the Animus as like being the light bed that he laid down in, and it's kind of like it plugs into the back of his neck like a matrix, and it's like a big robot arm jib, like kind of like this thing, and you just like moves him.
Yeah, as he does stuff.
And he's not like actually experiencing it. He's just like watching it. And they're watching it along with him, and he's just going through the motions. Like the genetic memory, like literally is down to like it does what.
That's why he's connected to that thing.
His ancestor would do. Yeah.
Yeah, that's sick.
It's an interesting take on an already established IP, and as a big fan of it, I didn't hate it. I'm sure there are probably Creed purists that are like, "This is an awful movie. Why did they do this? They ruined not my Assassin's Creed."
Yeah, bullshit. Yeah.
But I mean, it's got Michael Fassbender, and Michael Fassbender's a fucking heavyweight actor. Like,
and he's a pretty good guy. Yeah.
And again, not that I'm a little gay for Michael Fassbender.
You really are.
A little bit.
Really
I'm at least medium.
And they had Chris Nolan's wife was in it.
Oh,
I always forget her name. I know she was.
Is that his actual wife?
It's his actual wife.
That makes so much fucking more sense.
She's in all his movies. Yeah.
Fuck, I can't even remember her name to the IMDb.
Yeah. Well, while he does that, we're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna break down Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Motherfucker.
When we come back.
Her name is off right on the tip of my tongue too.
Hey everyone, what's going on? This is Mike Greco, the voice of the voices. If you like what you're hearing, then come on and check out the most exciting jam-packed loaded wrestling podcast today, Spot Monkey Radio. We talk all things wrestling from WWE to New Japan, Indies, ROH, and even travel to local shows in our area. So make sure to check out Spot Monkey Radio only on the False Finish Productions Network, the worldwide leader in podcast entertainment. Oh yeah!
What's up, nerds? It's your boy, the King of Bronx Style, Brandon Gold, and if you liked the nerd Cyph, you should check out Three Boys, a Goat, and a Dancing Bear, a podcast of ice and fire, where I discuss all things in the realm of Game of Thrones. Be sure to check out our archive on SoundCloud, and be sure to subscribe and give us 5 stars on the False Finish Productions Podcast Network, the revolutionary force in podcast entertainment.
We are back on Nerd Cyph and Nerd Cyph TV.
That was Marion Cotillard. Yeah, no, I did not know she was Chris
Yeah.
Nolan's wife. That makes total sense that she played.
That's when she was Talia al Ghul.
Yeah, exactly. I knew.
Yeah.
She was the surprise in Inception.
Yeah.
She was. I think she was in Memento too. If I'm not mistaken.
She might be. If Chris Nolan directed it, she was probably in it.
Probably in it.
But let's break down the last game, bro.
All right, go for it.
Star Wars Battlefront 2.
The much
Anticipated, highly anticipated.
Much maligned.
Now,
too,
and also followed by a lot of controversy.
highly controversial too.
Very
bro.
controversial.
This is probably the most controversial game to come out in the last 5 years, probably. At least as far as backlash from fans and consumers.
Well, they're really giving it to EA.
I mean, EA
Because
has
of the system, right?
EA
Break that down for us. You know more.
EA has its fair share of heritage, being the number one third-party content producer in the video game industry. You're gonna have a lot of people that are mad at you for whatever practices you do, but your ultimate goal to your shareholders on a fiduciary level is to make money, and that's what all their games have to do nowadays.
Yeah.
Every single one of their games after release has to have some sort of aftermarket release, after release marketplace, so they could have a revenue stream after it that's going to pay for everything that went into promoting the game and so on and so forth, paying off those writers that give it good reviews.
Yeah.
So I don't hate them for that. For those of you who aren't knowing, when you buy the game, every hero character, quote unquote, finger quotes here,
And that's just characters from the movies.
Characters from the movies, yeah. All the named characters and some of the ships are behind a unlockable wall. They're locked. You have to earn in-game currency to get them, which you get through about a couple hours of. It takes about 40 hours of gameplay. They estimate to get every character unlocked.
They're trying to get you to play the game.
They're trying to get you to play the game or shell out the $20 to just unlock it yourself, and then just the grind of
it's only $20.
Only $20.
So for $20, you can unlock everybody. And
$20
people are complaining.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, really. It's because they're nickel and diming their console. And again, it's borderline predatory.
Yeah.
But that's how companies have to make money these days. It's taking so much money to put out a AAA game because you have to pay for the rights of your licensing fees.
Mm-hmm.
You got to pay for the best talent out there to actually make the game. Then you got to promote the game.
Yeah, because they did kind of just like Call of Duty. They got actors and to come in and do the campaign and everything like that.
Yeah, they got Shiva
Kamini.
Shiva Kamini Somakana.
And they also got the gentleman who plays Quentin Lance on Arrow.
I couldn't remember for the life of me.
I always forget his actual name.
Yeah, I can't remember it either.
But he's a very good actor. I like him on Arrow, and he actually does pretty good in this. I was watching you play the campaign.
I mean, the campaign for me was by far the best part of this game. Like,
from what I took from the PvP, it was just like a typical Battlefront.
Yeah, it's Battlefront. It's chaos. You know, you group up and you try and stay alive for as long as possible because
that's what it seemed like.
You will die.
I mean, nothing from that aspect impressed me. From the PvP aspect, the arcade, I played most of it.
Paul Blackthorne. That's it.
Paul Blackthorne. Yeah. But yeah,
Shiva is Janina Gavinkar.
Yeah.
I hope I said that right. I apologize if I'm fucking that up and botching your name terribly, but
Yeah.
you're a very good actor. I liked you on True Blood.
But apart from that whole controversy,
Yeah.
the game is pretty good.
Game at its core is
Yeah.
probably one of the best Star Wars games on a console I've played in a very long time. First of all, there hasn't really been a true Star Wars game. Sorry, Lego Star Wars. As a Star Wars fan over the age of 6, I'm really not blown away by Star Wars Lego. They're fun games, but once you reach the age of like 10, 13, you need a little bit more depth. It's certainly one of the best stories that's so far been told on a Star Wars game. It's the best. It's the first narrative campaign in a Star Wars game since Force Awakens, too.
That's crazy.
That's
That's a while.
insane.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to count Old Republic?
I don't count that because that's not on a console. It's on a PC.
It's a PC. That's true. Very true.
Mm.
And they'll never convert that because it's just too many.
Way too complex.
Yeah, way too complex.
Way too
for
complex,
a,
and it like to port it would be weird because you'd have to update the graphics. Its graphical style is like still kind of a generation behind.
It looks like the first Mass Effect.
It does.
Like that's what I took away from it. But I mean, if they ever like converted it and made it like the way Battlefront looks, and made it like Mass Effect 3,
Yeah.
but like the Old Republic where you can kind of build a Jedi or a Sith and
Action RPG or shooter
yeah,
RPGs.
my God, man, would I buy that game in a heartbeat?
I mean, there's people that thought that was one of the games that they were kind of working. Not that specifically, but a game like that, an open world Star Wars game that just got shelved recently.
Just didn't work out.
Yeah, just they did not meet their targets, and EA just shut the project down.
Yeah, because like I said, from the PvP aspect, it just looks like Call of Duty set in Star Wars.
It's the same game as Battlefront 1 as from a PvP aspect, except the fact that they took like the Mario Kart aspect.
Yeah,
of
you were
Battlefront.
telling that like you just pick stuff up.
It's performance based, which I think is way better because it's not just the race for spawn items.
Yeah.
When you first get into the game, you're not coming across stuff that you don't want. Like I can't tell you how many times I got like a bonus and it was something useless.
Mm-hmm.
Like you never get the yellow shell or never get the blue shell.
Yeah, I don't.
It was several months in that game before.
That first game was bad to me.
It wasn't bad.
I bought that game.
It wasn't bad. I think a lot of people were obviously disappointed because it didn't deliver content-wise at launch. It was literally just the 2 factions, 4 maps, couple gameplay types, and the Starfighter.
But this game corrected that.
This game is double what that game had with DLC at launch.
Oh, so look at that.
It is infinitely better. It makes that game look like a beta.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
it cucks.
like I said, from what I played, the arcade was fun. It was mindless. You really don't need much. You just run around
and shoot.
And that's if you just want to play the solo ones. I didn't even play co-op because I didn't really team up with anybody. I didn't do any of that stuff.
No.
But they have all that. That's all available.
We could do that.
Yeah.
You could go. It brings back split screen gaming.
Yeah.
That's
I saw that.
That's a thing that not a lot of games have that people were clamoring for that the original one didn't have.
Kind of like GoldenEye. That's the last split screen shooting game I played.
I hated GoldenEye.
Wow, you're the only person I've ever met.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't say that I hated it. I just wasn't good at it, so I don't hold it in such reverence.
High regard, yeah. Like people hold that game in high regard.
That's like they're like
the greatest shooter ever.
No, please.
I don't believe that either.
Half-Life bitches.
I didn't play that game.
Half-Life and its subsequent mods and everything like that.
But the story's pretty cool. You get to play on different.
It's the first time you're playing as an Imperial soldier.
This takes place after episode 4.
It takes place literally at the very end.
Return of the Jedi.
It takes place during Return of the Jedi and after Return of the
the
Jedi,
Jedi,
leading up to Force Awakens.
Yeah, because you get to not I want to say team up, but essentially work with Luke and Leia.
You get a lot of the guest star spots.
Like, you get a lot of the cameos. We'll call them, yeah. Spoiler alert. Obviously.
Yeah, there's tons of spoilers.
I liked it.
I would play. I'm enjoying it playing it far. And
I know there are some people who don't like it.
I mean, some people aren't.
But
like
as you said, when you're that big of a titan, you're gonna have a lot of people.
You're gonna have a lot of haters, man.
Yeah, it happens.
I mean, again, I think takes a special company like EA to bring 300,000 something Redditors together to downvote a comment that they leave in response to the consumer backlash.
Yeah, that's big.
Like, that's epic. Like, you got to say some pretty inflammatory shit
to get 300,000 people to. You could say like racist and like troll shit, and 300,000 people aren't gonna.
But they
downvote your.
Man, they came out of the woodwork for that video game thing.
They shit on it hardcore for a Star Wars game.
Yeah.
I mean, at its core though, it nails what it feels like to be in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like when I'm flying around in an X-wing, it feels like it should. Like I feel like I'm playing in the movie.
Okay.
Everything looks cool. They have all the key locations. The droids sound like droids. There's slight continuity problems, but I mean...
You were talking about that yesterday.
I'll get over it. Like, when I'm flying through my droid TIE fighter and Poe Dameron shoots me out, I'm like, he shouldn't even be alive!
Yeah.
It's that kind of stuff that kind of takes me out of it, but I get over it. Can I say the campaign is awesome again? Like the campaign.
I think that's what we're really selling here is like the campaign.
The campaign. If you're a hardcore Star Wars fan and you're on the fence, I think it's worth at least the rental, just for the campaign alone.
Yeah, because like I said, to me personally, the PvP and even the arcade, it's Battlefront.
Yeah,
so it's like okay.
I really wish they would bring back the old Galactic Conquest mode.
Okay, what was that?
From Battlefront 2? It was kind of like a board game. Like you would be. Me and you playing, you would have your planets that would have your resources, and I would have my planets that are under my control. And I could take a certain amount of my troops, attack one of your planets to try and take it over, and you could go back, and then it was, whoever controls the most.
Like real-time strategy almost.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Maybe in the next game.
Maybe DLC.
Battlefront 3.
Maybe DLC.
We will see.
I mean,
only time.
There's so much that could happen for this game.
What is your official rating?
All right. Because they tried to nickel and dime their consumers with the unlocking of the heroes and the loot boxes, which is just, something you're going to have to deal with every game.
Yeah.
Every game is going to have some sort of economy to it. Like,
they do.
Like NBA 2K has it this year. Like they try and get every sort of ounce of virtual currency out of you can to get anything. To like change your guy's hair, you got to pay for that.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So that's just
terrible.
That's just terrible. But that's the way it is, man.
Yeah.
So I'll give them a minor deduction for that. I give it a 4.25.
4.25.
Yeah. Very good. Because I'm a hardcore Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
So this hits right
in the heart. In the heart. Yeah.
Right in the heart of
right
what
in the
I
Han
want.
Solo.
Yeah. It is exactly what I wanted it to be. Like just a fun, realistic.
We're going to disagree here.
Okay.
After careful deliberation, 24 hours to think about it, I'm going to give it 3.
All right.
Because apart from the campaign,
right,
there was, to me, again, I don't play first-person shooters, so there was no really redeemable qualities after the campaign. So after I would be done with the campaign, I would probably be done with the game.
Yeah.
And I know people are probably going to want... There's some people out there that just buy for the multiplayer. So if you're going to buy for that, go for it, man. But not me. I don't do that.
I mean, that's to each their own. I'm not going to judge people. I like a good campaign.
We'll see.
I like a good story. I like good multiplayer.
Maybe there's downloadable content added to the campaign.
Hopefully. I mean, we could fingers crossed.
Yeah, I think that's what they need to focus on more. But that's me personally. I mean, that's a whole another episode with breaking into PvP versus PvE. I like more co-op PvE.
Yeah, I like a game to have everything really. Like I like.
Yeah, I don't mind PvP. You put that in there, but I also like to have an aspect where I could just get online with a friend and we could play the story together.
Yes,
like how you do it.
You could have been another person in my game essentially.
Yeah, like how like Gears of War. Like you could just pick it up and just drop right into somebody's story and help them.
Actually, help them. I think. Speaking of Gears of War, I haven't played Gears of War in about a year. Like I just stopped playing. Not any slight on the game or anything else like that.
Yeah.
I go in to go. I don't even think I put the disc in the machine. I think I literally just clicked on the app and it tried to like start up. I guess from when I was playing, my ex-roommate Ray, when we were playing together, went and completed the game, and I guess didn't either start a new game or whatever.
And he got you all the trophies, didn't he?
Got me all the fucking achievements.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, I was opening and I was just like popping achievements left and right, and I'm like, I haven't played this game in a year. How am I getting all these achievements?
Yeah, that's sick.
I feel like it's undeserved gamer score, but I'm taking that shit.
Anything you want to plug before we wrap this up?
False Finish Podcast Network, obviously, on all your podcast platforms, Stitcher, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, whatever they call it nowadays,
Podbean app, which is probably the more convenient way to listen to it.
That's what I noticed. Yeah, I have that app too now.
Yeah.
Podbean.
We could talk about that later too.
Yeah. Follow False Finish Productions.
Just follow us, man.
Catch us on the Nerd Cyph TV on YouTube at False Finish
This
Productions.
is what you're doing now.
Nerd Cyph TV.
Yes.
That's where you find us, guys.
Yeah.
Leave comments below if you want us to review any new games. Or if you want us to,
if-
we will be reviewing the new Dragon Ball Z game.
Oh, absolutely.
Was it Dragon Ball Fighter? It's called.
I have a big plan for that game.
Yeah, we might even actually do some streaming, a lot of streaming of that game because
Like we're strapping our hopes to Hatch. That Hatch gets a lot of views, washing people.
yeah,
in that game.
I'm hoping. Like I said, man, catch us at False Finish Productions. Catch our archive episode with Pepper Monster. We interviewed Pepper Monster on the Nerd Cyph. It was very good. We talked about the whole hashtag Me Too. Check it out on YouTube and on Podbean and iTunes. That is my man Brandon Gold.
Yeah,
I am
buddy.
Tone Bone. Unfortunately, that is all the time we have. So on that note, stay big, folks.
Let's go light one up.